Well, hello everyone. This is Robin Carter, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of Flower Mound, Texas. I hope you've had a great weekend. I just got back from our Stampin' Up! Convention that was down in Houston, and wouldn't you know it, fastest my paper pumpkin ever came. It actually came Friday when I was away, and I was like, that is the fastest ever. But I thought I would just do the unboxing for you today now that I am back. Before we get started, let me thank those of you who have subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much for your support, and I hope if you follow me that you get tips and tricks of ways to use your Stampin' Up! Products. But before we get to the unboxing, I have some exciting news to share with you. First of all, I have a preview of what the next 3 months of Paper Pumpkin will be. This is April. It's called Delicate Wings, and it is a card kit. It says it's made to create 9. Now, if you followed my channel, you know I make many more than 9, adding some additional supplies. And then here is May, the best there is, and then June. Now, June is shown in black and white because it has some new in colors, but I have a little surprise for you there as well. And then with it being a new quarter, there is a new quarter of add-on dies for the next 3 months of Paper Pumpkin. They are not required to complete the projects as designed. They're just for those who want to add a little more to their kit. And so the item number for it is 164397. There's a stitched label die, a nice big font of thanks, and then a solid butterfly and a detail butterfly. So these are 12 USD plus shipping. However, I will share some information as we go along of things you could add. If you are just a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, that would be great to help spread out that shipping some. By the way, if you do not have a demonstrator, I would be so honored to be yours. And I have the link of how to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin here. Now, this link will also be in my video description of this box. Just click on more and details and scroll through that, and it'll have all the information you need to reach me. That is one bit of information on Paper Pumpkin. Now, I got a preview for you of the new in colors. So here they are. It's Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, and those of you that have been around Stampin' Up! Along, a return of a very old color, Pretty in Pink, Shy Shamrock, and Summer Splash. So we were able to create a little color swatch at convention, and this is the cardstock. We were then allowed to stamp, and I thought I would just do a little second generation stamp. Now, this is not basic white paper, so the second generation doesn't do as well on that. And then here is the marker for those. So each of these will be available for purchase for customers starting in May with a new catalog. Speaking of the new catalog, I'll go ahead and do that so it flows better. I can only show you the cover of the Stampin' Up! Catalog. So this is it, and I've perused through it a couple times. There are some very pretty DSP, and also as going to convention, I attended the after hours and was able to pre-order a set. And look at this beauty. It's called the Spotlight of Nature, and even though and it is a cling stamp, which means you'll get nice crisp images. But the star for me of this suite are the dies, and unfortunately they didn't have a die cut machine out for us to play with, but I want to show these to you. This has got to be my favorite of the catalog, Spotlight of Nature. And look at these dies. There's 2 sheets of dies, and each one of them kind of has a different pattern. So they don't cut out this, it cuts out a whole piece. Wow, I haven't put these on my magnet sheets yet. But see, it puts a little stitching. There's all different designs. Let me hold those up so you can see. Very pretty. So these I'm going to get a lot of use from over the next year, I'm sure. So I hope you enjoyed seeing that little sneak peek. All right. And then So that's the news for the new catalog. I did have some swaps and also some other product like in color enamel dots or shimmer gems. But oh, I forgot to do one thing. So I still had some Pretty in Pink from years ago when it was available, and I wanted to compare. So this is the old cardstock that I had, and you know what? I think it's pretty exact. So I know I'll have to probably redo my ink pad and marker because I think my ink pad is back from when they had the linen color. So I'll have to check that out and see if I still have that. So I thought that was interesting that that is an exact match. Usually it's a little different, but they do always recommend you get new ink because it could have the chemicals could have changed over the years. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed these new in colors. I think they're fabulous. It fills in some gaps of a pretty soft pink and this peachy color. So hopefully those are going to be good to use over the next 2 years. Okay, one last thing. Tomorrow they're going to release the discontinued list, and this will be from the big annual catalog that ends in April as well as the mini catalog. So be sure and check that out. Sometimes there are discounted products, and if you do not have a demonstrator and you would like to grab those, they are while supplies last, a lot of them. Then I do have a March host code here that you can use, and any order of $75 or more, you will receive a special gift from me as a thank you. So be sure and check that out tomorrow. I will do a link on my blog as soon as I'm able to get it. It may not start until mid-afternoon. Excuse me for not having the exact details, but so be sure and watch. Now to what we're all here for is the paper pumpkin unboxing. So the only thing I have done is taken off the wrapper. And so let's get started. Oh, as promised, we get a bonus stamp set since this is the anniversary year of Paper Pumpkin. And like I always say, before you do anything, you want to test your stamps. So I just grab out my shipping label and use the back of it. And here's what I do. Because Stampin' Up! Will only guarantee your stamps for 90 days. So even if you think, oh, I don't have time to work on this kit for a while, maybe not till summer, you want to test out your stamps. So let's test those out. Let me see what colors I have on my desk. You could use the ink spot. I'm just going to use, let's see, an old olive that I have here on my desk. So I just take the flimsy part off. All right, and using the thicker part, I just ink it up. And I usually end up with very inky hands after this is over, but that's okay. All right, so let's stamp. Now, as I said, this is just the back of the label. It is not our smooth basic white cardstock, which helps the ink absorb, but you just want to make sure you get all of your image. So here it is. Heartfelt thanks. It's the little things that matter. Have a beautiful birthday, and you've been on my mind, as well as a cute little flower. Actually, I think that would even go well with the style of my new bundle I just showed you. So, you know what? My chamois, of course, is dry because hasn't been used all weekend while I was away. I'm just going to get my squirt bottle, squirt that, and I have a paper towel sitting around. And I did forget to do one step that I'm going to show you on the next set. See, I already have ink all over. Okay, I'll set these aside so they can kind of dry. Okay, and here is the bonus stamp set. Very beautiful. You'll be able to see it more when I do its image. So this one has a lot of solid leaves and solid flower parts. So sometimes you need to take like a white eraser and rub on those so they get a good image. Okay. Another thing that I should have done with the first one is when you go to first ink it up, use like a Versamark ink. It's just a clear sticky ink made mostly for embossing, but it also helps your other inks stick to your stamps well. So mine got a little cross contamination there. All right, I think I got that well with the Versamark. And then I'm going to get my garden green, and you'll probably see that this sticks much better when you do it with Versamark, and it is sticky. So see how well that ink sticks to the stamp? So you get a solid image. Okay, that's good enough for testing. Might have overdone it a little bit. All right, so let's flip this over, press, and give a good little rub. Nice big flower. I like that. It's nice to always get an additional stamp. Very nice. So see how even though it's kind of cruddy paper, it even got a better image there. So I find you really only need to use the Versamark a couple times, maybe. Once even really helps the ink to stick better. All right, so those are our stamp sets. Do you love those or what? You know, one thing I didn't test. This should, all things are supposed to fit on the D block. Let's see if, oh, it's really, you know what, you'll have to let the stem stick off. I'll have to play with that more. But, so one thing might be to get a bigger block if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber to help spread out any goodies you might purchase. And I love these thicker blocks that are easier to hold on to and stamp with. So I like, this is the D. I also love the B, the C, and even the little A for little stamps like this little guy, these little guys. So it helps you not get ink wobbling all over the place. Okay, with this kit came a garden green ink spot. Now my Paper Pumpkin subscribers will receive a 1-inch square of the coordinating cardstock so that they can attach it to the back of this and store their inks upside down and still be able to see what color it is. And then they will also receive a little sleeve to store their Paper Pumpkin stamp sets in. Sometimes with the double, I just put the image on the front and the back, and you can store both in that envelope. This one I can tell is going to have to be one of the larger envelopes. I don't think this is going to fit in the 5 by 5-ish ones. So I'll have to get those out. All right, let's see the goodies in the box. Okay, as you know, you get it like this, but the instructions are always on the bottom of your box. So isn't this a beautiful kit? Now they have already told us that this is going to coordinate with the Meandering Meadows suite. And I did a class on that, a free video class on my YouTube channel. So if you're interested in seeing that, check out all the videos in my channel. I did them not too long ago, so those should be easy to find. And if you're new to my channel, I do have many videos of the past Paper Pumpkin kits. I'm also going to start adding bundle classes, which I've started the one with the masks. Excuse, I don't have the name on top of my head. I've got so many things going on. But I've done the first part of it, and I will do the second part this week, as well as working on alternatives with this project, or this kit. So we have some nice iridescent sequins, dimensionals, and big glue dots. Dimensionals are something else if you don't have a lot of to add to your card. So this, oh, and look, it goes all the way across. So I can already tell you I'm going to create more than 2 cards probably out of this. And we have 3 of these. Now I'm going to grab my little storage things so I don't lose stuff. So this is what I call part of my favorite things. If you're new to my channel, my favorite things are things that Stampin' Up! Does not sell, that I find very helpful in organizing my paper goods. So this is like a 7 by almost 10. In the description, it's called 7 by 9, and it holds Paper Pumpkin stuff perfectly. So, and then you don't have to keep up with the big thick box. And it even holds the instructions. So let me go ahead and read the coordinating colors for you. It is Balmy Blue, Basic Black, Berry Burst, Daffodil Delight, Early Espresso, Fresh Freesia, Garden Green, Gorgeous Grape, Granny Apple Green, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, Old Olive, Petal Pink, Pretty Peacock, and Very Vanilla. So speaking of that, I may use Very Vanilla card bases on this kit. And they showed all the supplies, and here are some alternate designs that they suggest. And sometimes I use those as a jumping start. But as you can see, if you are going to do them just as designed, the instructions are what I call IKEA instructions. So they're picture instructions. And as you can tell, so that says use the ink to stamp that there. This is put glue dots there, and these bigger ones are the dimensional. So if you plan to do those just as designed, that may give you some hints of what those little pictures are. And as I said, this fits perfectly in this envelope. So then I can store all my goodies in here and close it up, and it'll be good to go. Also, this was attached, so instead of printing the stamp image on the thick acetate, you now get a sheet of this, and I store this in my envelope with my stamps, so I still put the image thick. Let me grab one kit real quick. But I just grabbed May because this is my bigger envelope. I still like to do them like this with the image, and as I said, my Paper Pumpkin subscribers will receive an envelope like this, probably with the flowers and words on the front and or the back. So that will be good. And then I would store this, just fold it in the back, and that also helps keep light away from your photopolymer stamps. You want to store those out of direct light or sunlight. Okay, some nice envelopes, and let's see. It does go all the way down. Oh, that's a good view in the camera. It does go all the way down, so if we need to make alternatives with more sky, we have these to cut up. Let's see if they look like they're all the same, so I should have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's good for those. Put those in here. Oh, and look at these beautiful bases. Now, card bases. This reminds me of one of the designer series paper in the Meandering Meadows suite. That is a beautiful pack of paper, by the way. So if you really enjoy this kit, you can either get a refill or just add the designer series paper that goes with the Meandering Meadows suite. So we have 3 of these. And as you know, I'm going to make more than maybe 2 cards with that one. In you go. All right, some nice gold foiled labels on one end. This is a flag, and this is like a circle. I'll just punch one of these out so you can see. Now, once I punch things out, I store them in my smaller envelopes. These are 5 by 7. And if you've watched my alternatives, you know this is what I use a lot to store my card components in. So there's some labels. It's too big to fit in here, so I'm going to slip it in my big envelope. And then, 3 more beautiful scenes with the cloud. So 3 of these card bases. So I'm going to have a lot of fun working with this kit. It's going to create a lot of cards. Oh, more labels. One's already falling off, so that's good. Now that reminds me of one of our dies. I think the fancy, I can't think of the name. Something fancy dies. So if you needed more of those, that would help with that. Another thing you can do is save these negatives and trace along and then cut your own if you need more of those labels. Oh, and then this is interesting. We have some, it looks like wood elements in this big leaf. Now this leaf, I forgot to mention, looks just like, except it's much bigger, the add-on dies for this quarter of kits. So if you have these, I think they may still be available. It's called the Love of Spring Dies, item number 164396, and it was four dies to go with this last January, February, March quarter. So it does have this great stitched label die. I used the daffodil a whole bunch last, and I've used this just about in every month's kit, but you can see there that it is pretty much that image, just much larger. So we'll see how I use those. Those are quite large. And the cute little cutout trees. Oh, more still to come. You know what? These will even fit in the envelope. Okay, and then some purple, is that vellum? I think it's vellum. So it's kind of see-through. It's a dark color. Let's see how it does. Yeah, it must be vellum because it shows through there. So we have some nice rectangles and some fatter rectangles. So those will be nice to add a pop of color to those cards. Let's see, do they fit? They'll fit in the smaller envelope so I don't lose those. Okay, and then the chipboard. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this unboxing. As I said before, if you are new to my channel or have yet to subscribe, I would truly appreciate your subscription. I've set a hefty goal for myself to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you can be a part of that by helping me out and subscribing, I greatly appreciate it. And the best compliment you can give me is a thumbs up to this video. Share it with your other paper crafting friends and leave a comment. I love to read all those, especially where you're from. And if you're subscribed and new to my channel, let me know that. And I try to get back to everyone, even if it's just to say thank you for watching. So until my next video, I hope you all have a great weekend. And if your kit is not in already, I hope you get yours soon. So bye-bye, everyone.